Hello and welcome back to this channel, guys. Do you know how hard it is for me not to look over there instead to look over there? It's actually very difficult. So today I'm going to talk about a bit about anxiety and what it is really, because I feel like as much as there's such Islamic and social stigma behind anxiety and stuff, we still need to understand basic things about people's illnesses so that we can know how to act around them. I myself suffer from anxiety. I used to go into my lectures and I used to sit there and try so hard to concentrate. Like I would just be sitting there like really trying to concentrate with my pen and paper, taking notes down, but nothing was entering this brain. My brain was just like doing its own thing and I couldn't control it. And obviously I used to have panic attacks and stuff, so I used to come into lecture, sit down, and then like I get this urge that I need to like leave and like I can't breathe and stuff like that, so I'd have to go out and pop back in and stuff like that. So it was very difficult. Now everybody, I believe, has different types of anxiety and it affects everybody differently, just like all illnesses affect people differently because of your individual body. Now I'm going to speak about my experience of how anxiety affects me. I first started getting anxiety when my grandmother passed away. Before that I had no anxiety symptoms at all. I've always been like an emotional person, like I'm very sensitive, like I'll cry over anything, and that's just because I feel like once you cry and you let all that negative energy out, you can just move on with your life, instead of those people who bottle up everything inside and then just explode. I'm not one of those people. I just like cry, get over it, whatever. First symptoms that I ever had was panic attacks. Now nobody understands a panic attack unless you've had a panic attack. Panic attack is very similar to a heart attack. It's actually got exactly the same symptoms as someone who's experiencing angina, which is a form of heart attack. Basically it's like a racing heart, you can't breathe, you're dizzy, you know, you have pains all over your chest, all these kind of things. So when I first experienced a panic attack, I legit thought I was gonna die. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, that's it, I'm gonna die. Went to A&E a few times. They're like, it's nothing, you're just having an anxiety problem. Then I went to the GP and the GP diagnosed me with anxiety disorder. They got to a point where it was like my anxiety was so bad, like I didn't want to leave the house because I was just worried about everything. I didn't want to get on the train. That used to make me like, that used to trigger me. The bus used to trigger me. Just going out to parties and stuff, I'd always be that one person who's sitting in the corner like on my phone, and that's never been me. That's the saddest thing, like it's never been me. Growing up, like I was always the loud one, I was always the fun one, I was always the jokey one. I'm sure you lot have seen with the accents and stuff. I was always the crazy, outgoing, extroverted person, and then all of a sudden my whole personality changed, like, and I didn't know how to cope with it. I was like who is this person? This is not me, and I want to change. And then I kept having these outer body experiences. Now you lot are probably thinking, what the hell? But anyone who with anxiety will know what I'm talking about. Is basically you zone out, like you actually zone out of your body, and you like sometimes you can lose sensation in your body, yeah, so like your fingers, your toes, you don't know, like you wouldn't feel it anymore, and then you feel like you're not really here. So I know, like, you know, when the first time it happened to me, I actually thought like I was going mad. I actually thought I was gonna go and get sectioned because of like, I legit thought I'd lost the plot the first time it happened to me. So like I felt like I'm my soul and not my body, so like I didn't have that connection with my body, and apparently this is like a very common symptom of anxiety. So after that I legit, like, I didn't know how to cope anymore. Literally one thing after the other, I was like, what is happening to my body? Like, I need to go get help. So I went to the doctor. Doctor gave me tablets. Of course, NHS, it's the first thing they do, give you tablets, then get rid of you. Tablets, I tried them, I think for about a month. I hated them. They made me feel absolutely worse with myself. I think it was citalopram, which is actually given to people with depression and anxiety disorder, but I really didn't like that medication. And I'm not a believer in medication. I don't really like to medicate. Like, I feel like there's so many other things you can do. Cognitive behavioral therapy, whatever. Tried that. Basically with that, it's not therapy, it's more counseling. So what happens is you go, you talk to this person, but they're like a wall. So like they just ask you questions like, how does that make you feel? What exactly do you feel when you do that? And where do you think that stems from? And you know, these kind of questions, like, I just didn't feel like it was very helpful, because they cannot give you, they legally cannot give you their opinion. They can't, they're not allowed. Only a psychiatrist or a therapist can give you opinions and tell you what to do, but a counsellor cannot. They can only listen to you and ask you questions. To kind of, the whole point I think is to kind of get into your brain, into the deep roots of the problem, and try and find the problem so that you yourself can look into solutions. So I thought maybe this is a ruqya problem, I don't know, maybe it's to do with ayn. You know, being a Moroccan, like, everything's about ayn, really. We're like, you know, literally you could break your fingernail and you'd be like ayn. You could poke your own eye, ayn. Do you understand? Like, Moroccans are so obsessed with ayn. So I was like, maybe it's ayn, you know, people telling me you got ayn, da 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 da. I was like, all right, cool, let me go do hijama. Let's just say hijama was not for me. I nearly bled to death, but that's another story for another day. Anyway, didn't do that, so that didn't work. Obviously I did like self ruqya and stuff, so listen to Quran, drinking zamzam, having black seed honey, sahab soda, honey, all of that stuff. Nothing was working. I was like, cool, this is not working. On to the next thing, exercise. Now exercise, when I tell you, has been the best thing so far. Now I've always like been an active person. I'm very boyish myself. I do like to move around. I do love to walk and cycle and that kind of stuff. And I got into swimming, and when I tell you, swimming has been the best thing ever. I just feel like when I get into the pool, I can feel the water touching every single part of my body, and that just makes me feel like very alive. It makes me, you know, when I have this outer body experience, it just kind of brings me back, and it's like, no, look, you are your body. If I can feel it, you understand? Anyway, waffle. Now, right now I've got to a point where I manage my anxiety with exercise, with eating well, with socializing, but with also isolating myself. So I feel like every few days, or like, yeah, every few days I have to have just a me day. Like, for example, if I go to a party, I need to have at least 2 days just not seeing anyone. And I know it sounds mad, you're probably thinking why, but I feel like I don't know, like, it's like a recharging. I say it's recharging, like I need to recharge myself because my battery dies. So yeah, after a certain level of socializing, I need to take a break, and that's why, like, a lot of the time I just need to stay at home and stuff like that. Obviously they say that socializing actually makes your anxiety better. I do agree, but to a certain extent, because with human beings, we naturally want to confide in each other. So what happens is, when you meet somebody, be it someone close, be it someone just like you've just met or anything, they automatically want to offload their problems onto you. Now, we don't want to be selfish human beings and say that we don't want to listen to nobody's problems, but saying that, you know, sometimes it does get too much. You don't need to hear every single person's problems. And with me, because I see myself as an empath, a lot of people do tend to come to me with their issues, and that's fine. Of course, if I'm your friend and you're my friend and you listen to my issues, I'll listen to your issues, but just to have that constant thing where every time I'm seeing you it's an issue, I can't cope. Like, I'll have to leave you alone for at least 2-3 days, because stress. Like, it's bad enough having stress with family, you know, then you're gonna go have stress with friends. It's just stress. Leave me alone. So that was my personal journey, or like the way my anxiety affects me. Now, talking about how you should deal with people with anxiety. Right, when somebody tells you I have anxiety, even if they say it in a jokey way or whatever, that's their way of telling you, I believe that's their way of telling you, look, I'm not comfortable in certain situations, I'm just asking you to bear with me and stuff. Now, me personally, when I say to someone I don't want to do that, it makes me anxious, or I don't want to do that, I have anxiety, that's my way of telling you, look, just respect the fact that I don't want to do it because of this reason. A lot of people think that people claim mental health to attention seek. Wallahi, when I tell you, anxiety is the worst illness out of all my illnesses. It's the worst one, because I cannot control it. I cannot control when I have a panic attack. Literally, you could be having the best day of your life, you could be having the best week, nothing's going wrong, and all of a sudden your heart just starts racing. Your heart starts racing, you can't breathe. That's literally what happens with a panic attack. Like, it's so out of the blue, it's unexpected, and there's absolutely no reason for you to have it. So if I'm telling you that specific thing triggers me, I want you to respect that that specific thing triggers me. I don't need you to think deeper than that. No, if I simply tell you I don't want to do that, it triggers me, that's it. I don't want you to start thinking, oh, why is she saying that? She's just being long, she's attention seeking, maybe she wants me to ask her what's wrong. No, you don't need to. Just stay away. I just don't want to do that specific task. The worst thing you can do is say to them things like, you need to be more grateful, or there's nothing wrong with you. Why are you worried for? There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And I hate when people say this, because it's like, do you think I want to be worried? Do you think I wake up in the morning and say, today's goal is to be worried. Today's goal is for my heart to start racing and for me to be worried and not being able to breathe and not being able to communicate. That is my goal for today. No, it's not the case at all. I can't control it. So you can't tell me there's nothing, why you worried? There's nothing to be worried about. Or like, taqillah. Bro. Do you know what, yeah? I've actually had enough of people like saying taqillah, fear Allah. Right, anyway, that's just on the side. But saying to people things like this, it's not helpful at all. At the end of the day, if you see your Muslim brother or sister who's going through something, comfort them, please comfort them. Do not refute them, do not shout at them, do not make them feel like they are sinning, do not make them feel less worthy. Like, think of it this way: if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, somebody came to him and said to him, Ya Rasulullah, I'm feeling this way and this is what's happening to me and I'm upset and this and that, do you think that the Rasulullah would say to them taqillah? Do you think that the Rasulullah would say to them, you're ungrateful? He will give them ayahs of the Quran, he will talk to them, he will try and help them, you know, find a solution, he will try and help them, you know, with their issues. He wouldn't just push them away with like basically refuting them and telling them that they're in the wrong. This is not what Prophet ﷺ would do. So why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? It's horrible how we've become, you know, that we feel the need to just constantly get at people like, relax, bro, relax. Someone's got an issue, comfort them, bro. Be there for them. Ask them, is there anything I can do? You know, if you genuinely care. If you don't care, move about your business. Don't come and disturb people's peace. If somebody tells you I got anxiety and you don't agree with it, that's it. Move along. Go away. You don't need to come with your dead opinions and push them onto people. Like, I'm so sorry. No one wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. Anyway, I'm just going to wrap this up now by just telling you guys, if you're going through something, of course, you know, it's going to pass. Alhamdulillah, like, every time I'm going through stages, I just isolate myself. I try to get back on my deen and stuff. And of course, like, I've survived every panic attack I've ever had. I've survived every anxiety disorder I've ever had. I've survived every nervous breakdown I've ever had. And look, I'm still here. I'm still moving on. So, you know, you can make it through this. This is what I mentioned in my first ever video, is that you can push through every problem you have. Just another thing is, don't expect anything from anyone. Only Allah is there for you. You only have Allah in this world. Everybody else is just accessory. The one that you have is Allah Azza wa Jal. He's your friend, and turn to him for everything. You know, if you're upset, cry to him, get in sujood, ask him. If you're confused, do istikhara. You know, Allah is always there for you, and he wants the best for you. He does not want bad for his servants. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little talk that we had. It is a bit sad, unfortunately, but it's got to be done. Do you know what I mean, babe? It's proper got to be done, because a lot of people don't really know much about anxiety. That's basically that. That is it. I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you enjoyed this, like, please, and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Follow me on Instagram, j.gaz. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, make sure you switch on the post notification. So every time I'm just putting the video, you is seeing the video, you is liking the video, you is watching the video. Okay? Right, that's that. Right, thank you guys. Look at me doing uptime with Team Light Skin. By the way, if you want to see this look, let me know, yeah? But yeah, man, in a bit. Boy.